Uh, I am your boy, Hassan Dominic, aka Adopercent of Adopercent Concepts. Sorry, I'm in a very busy environment, as you can hear from the background noise. And by the way, we're going to continue our how to draw human face for beginners. Please, this video is for beginners. You have that love, you love drawing, and you don't know, drawing human face could be challenging, and then you really want to know how to do this, but you've been looking for somebody to guide. I'm here for you. I was a beginner like you. I'm still learning too. Yeah, we learn every day. So I'm gonna go live. I'm live now, so I'm gonna flip my camera. So you're gonna see only my hands while I'm doing this. But the most important thing is, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry, that was a call from a friend. So, like I said, this method I'm going to show you, it's a method you'll be using to do your drawings. You practice it, and then gradually you're going to pick it. It's not something you're going to master in a day. Even myself, I'm still mastering the art. So this method could be it's also used to draw reference photos. Once it become used to, you can use it to draw reference photos. Okay, so it is called the Loomis method. There are a lot of textbooks out there. A lot of materials out there that tells you, that teaches you about the Loomis method. It's an effective method of drawing. But I'm not here to bother you with all those English language and whatever language is very tough. I'm here to guide you on steps and explain the shapes and lines being used and explain them to you. So I'm going to flip my camera so we can see what we are doing. Thank you for joining. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do well to subscribe. So I'm setting my camera to face my paper. All right, as you can see, that's my paper. All right. Here I have my pencil, or I'm gonna be using my compass so that I'll have a perfect circle. I'm setting my pencil instead of my compass. Please, I hope my voice is you're getting what I'm saying. Like I said, the environment is noisy, and I wish I had another place to stay. But this way I can manage for now. All right. Okay. So here we go. Okay, let's go. Now we're gonna draw a human face in let's start with the front view. Let's start with the front view, the full view. Okay, so I'm gonna draw my circle to any desired diameter. That's the one I've chosen to use. Okay, so this is the circle. That is the circle. So that's my first shape. I'm using a circle. Number one. That's the first step. Draw a circle. Always remember, the first step where we're using this method is you draw a circle. After drawing a circle, I'll use my ruler. I will use my ruler. In the place of ruler, let me use this set square. I'll draw a square across horizontally. So that's my horizontal circle. Then I'll draw a vertical circle across the middle. The vertical circle. Now this line you're seeing here. Let's call it line 2. Line 2. This line is your eyebrow line. This is where your eyebrow will line up. This is where you draw your eyebrow.
So the line that cuts across the center of the circle is called your eyebrow line. So it is very important. It helps you understand where your eyebrow should be. Instead of drawing randomly where you sometimes you might not put your eyebrow in the right place. This line guides you where you're putting your eyebrow. You know your eyebrow should be on top of this line. Are we together? Okay, the next one now is let's form a square inside of it. Or shall I say draw a vertical line here. I want this square to be I want both sides to be equal. So I'm gonna pretend to draw another circle inside. Well, I'll prefer you always draw this circle inside. This is another circle inside. Okay, that's another circle inside. For clarity. Now you see what I'm doing. You know, from distance from this middle point to here is the same distance from here to here. So the same distance from here to here, you are going to use it to draw down. Now notice there's this point. The distance from this point to this point is the same thing as from this point to this point, and it's the same thing as from this point to this point. So when you put your compass here, you check it. That is line 1. You check this one, line 3, and you check this one, line 4. Okay, that is 4 lines now. I'm gonna take line, that is the 4th line. Now this is line 1, line 2, and line 3. Very important. Very important. Now use this line inside to form a square inside the circle. All right. Okay, let's extend it now. Let's use this. Okay. So now you can see you have your square inside the circle. You have your square inside the circle. Like this one was. You can use it, but let's not use it for the purpose of this class. Let's not use it. Or this is a line inside the circle. Okay. This other circle can be wiped, but do not wipe the line. Now, have you seen that this is a square? That's why in my previous video I said the second part is draw a square. After your circle, this is a square. This is a square. After this square, you're gonna come down. Now notice that from this distance to this distance, and from this distance to this distance, this distance to this distance are all the same. So now call this line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. And line 1, this line you're seeing is your hairline. Hairline. This is where your hairline, this is where your hair stops. From this point to this point, that's where your hair stops. Remember, line 1 is your hairline. Line 2, which is the middle line that cuts across, that divides the circle into 2 parts, is your eyebrow line. I mentioned it earlier. Eyebrow line. And then line 3 is your nose line. Nose line. This is where your nose. That is the nose. Check your nose. This is where your nose ends. It starts from here and to this place. That's your nose line. And this last one you're seeing, no, line 4, is your chin. It's your chin line. So remember the steps. The first thing you do is draw a circle, which is this circle. The second one is form a square inside the circle. Now to have a good square, I advise you draw another circle inside the big circle. But if you don't want to go there, if you know you can draw a good square inside the circle, then draw your square. That's the second stage. Then draw this first line at the edge of this inner circle. It is called the top of your inner circle. It is called your hairline. The middle line is your eyebrow line. This other line is your nose line, and then the last one is your chin line. Okay, it's your chin line. Let me attend to this. All right. Now notice We're gonna put another line. Now you're gonna divide. You see this from this line to this line. Divide it into two. Divide this line into two. Then put another line inside of it. I don't know. I don't have my ruler. Let me try. Let me see the measurement I use here. God, I don't know actually. This is from 0 to almost 3. 2.7. That is 2.7. Then divide 2.7 by 2. You have what you have. Let me divide it. It's gonna delay me. Oh my God. It's gonna delay me. Let's use here to be our middle. Let's just assume. Because I don't have my calculator here. Let's assume this place to be the middle. You're gonna do the same thing here. Okay. Then you're gonna draw another line. You're gonna draw another line. And this is another line. I like calling this line, this one, I like calling it 2A. And then I call this one 2B, 3A. Let's have line 2, line 2A, line 3, line 3A. Now this line is your eye. This is where your eye will land. The bottom of your eye. That's the bottom of your eye. And this one is the bottom of your lips. When properly done, this is a rough sketch. This is a rough sketch, so we're not gonna have exactly what we're looking for. Alright, then you extend this line down to this point, extend it to this point, depending on how you want your chin to be. Now let me I'll put a circle here in the middle. That's my chin. Then I'll join this line. I'll join this line again. That's my chin. Alright. Let's go. You see, from this part, this angle, you're gonna take a kind of sphere here. How is it called? This is what I'm doing. You're gonna take something like this shape from right and from left, and then you're gonna put this shape from right, sorry. This shape. Why are you putting this shape? Let me put it here too so you understand. Alright, I'll come back to this one. Let me explain this one first. You see this point and this point. This is where your eye, the length of your eye will start from here and end around here. And then from here and end around here. This line guides you to know where the length of your eye will end. It helps you to know where the length of your eye will end from your left and from your right. Now, this lines now guides you on where your eye will end. The length from here, this point to this point, this point to this point. That's your eyes, okay? And this line also guides you on your nose. All right, and this is your nose, a circle. That's our nose. As you can see, this is our nose. And then I told you, this line is the bottom of your lips. Now, notice, you're going to bring another shape down that cuts here. Listen, it touches here. The chin. It comes from here to the chin. Now, why are we putting this line? This is your jaw, okay? Now, this is where it starts. This is the length of your mouth. From here to here, at the length of your mouth. From here to this point. That's why this line is there to guide you, so you don't overextend your mouth and you don't bring it inside too much. So this is the length from left to right and from right to left. This is where your mouth starts it begins and ends, okay? Then you put a line through the middle. That's your mouth. Okay, that's your mouth. Then you can use, some people use circle, like I like using circle. Okay, to draw a circle here. Notice I'm drawing the circle from this point down. And then from this point, have you seen? So that your this thing, this gap, you check your face, this gap after your eye, this is the gap after your eye, this is the gap after your eye. Now some people love using this shape instead of circle. They love using this shape. Okay, some people love using this shape, which is also still effective. Some people use this shape. Are we together? Some people love using this shape. All right. Now this is the end of our. Where is that eye we had? The line. Okay, I think it was here. Okay, that's the line. I told you the base of our eyes. Okay. Now we're gonna draw the eye from this circle we use. All right, let's go. This is how you curve your eyes. I believe you should know. That's the top of your eye, and then this is the bottom. I told you this line is there to guide you. As you can see, our eyes is there. And then you see this part that is left after this square, this line. See this part, that's your ear. All right, that's your ear. And from left, it starts from your eyebrow line down to your nose line. From your eyebrow line to your nose line. That's your ear. Now you see this line with this shape we drew here. You see this place. This is a part is cut off. This a part is cut out up. Sorry. This some part is being cut off from this circle and from this side too. And that is the shape of your head. The head is not that elaborated, so this is the shape of your head now inside the circle. Now, this is your ear. You know, you shift your jaw. Okay, shift your jaw. As you can see, this is almost formed. Let's bring our eyebrow line. Let's bring our eyebrow. Okay. All right, let's go. And then the eyebrow go inside to meet up with this circle. See this eyebrow shape of the eye, where the eyebrow begins. It meets with this circle inside. Are we together? It meets with that circle. Then let's construct our nose. That's our nose. Okay, let's over to the mouth. Let's use this shape. Let's use this shape. Okay, I will say put a circle inside depending on how you want the mouth to look like. And it's another circle inside. As you can see, then you draw your ear. I don't know how to. After this class, in previous subsequent class, I will teach how to draw parts of the face. Now this is the ear. This is how you construct the ear. I will do a separate class where I will have to explain how you construct this ear. But for those who already know, they know what I'm doing. That's our ear. You form a kind of Y shape inside of it. And then we have our ear. Now let's bring in our eye. Let's balance it. All right. And then what kind of head do we give this figure? Let's include the neck. Let's include the neck. All right, we could wipe out all these stuffs, but if you're going to shade, we could shade to cover them up. But let's bring in our 2B pencil. Remember, the first pencil we used was our HB pencil. Now let's bring in our 2B pencil. 2B is thicker and darker than HB. So let's bring it to. Sorry, I missed that step. I was checking some. That's our nose. All right, let's go. Let's shine them. Remember, I'm just shining them. I'm just shining these lines. Just shining these lines. All right, the mouth. Okay, I'm shining the mouth. Now you see our face is almost ready. Almost ready. All right. We could decide to add the lashes. We decide to add lashes. Guys, if the lashes are to be visible. All right. That's our hair. I'm trying to include the hair. All right. All right. I'm just shining and darkening some parts. How much you need? Oh, excuse me. I'll be right back. Hey, you. All right, sorry, I was interrupted. Okay, I told you it's a busy area. All right, so we are. I don't think I want to shape for now, but now you can see The construction was easy. To me, it was easy. And then we can wipe off. Let's wipe off all the wanted lines. Let's see what we have. It was that easy. I don't know if anybody remember what I explained, and if you can apply them. Remember what I told you. First, we start with our circle, then we use our square inside the circle. Remember, I told you the first line is your hairline, the second line is your eyebrow line, and the eyebrow line is the center, in the center of the circle. That's the eyebrow line, then your nose line, and then your chin line. Then I told you between the eyebrow line and the nose line, you have to divide you have to divide from eyebrow line to nose line, divide into two. That's the middle. That's where your eye will, that will form your base of your eye. And then I say we do it the same thing to from the nose line to the chin line, the middle. All right. So now I don't know if anybody has any question to ask. Okay. Because I'm going to proceed to the next one. Now, before I proceed to the next one, let me run it down again. I said the first thing you do is, let me use freehand. First thing you do is draw a circle of any dimension of your choice. Then draw a line through it, form a square inside the circle. And then the first line is your hairline. The middle one is your eyebrow line. The third one is your nose line. And then the last one is your chin line. I told you from here you have to divide it two. Put a circle, is a line here, and then put another line here. And I told you this way your eye. I told you the next thing you do is form this shape by this side, form this shape by this side. And I said the circle, form a circle here. And that will be your chin. Okay. Then I told you have to pick up this shape. I run it down here, pick this shape. I told you this shape is there to guide your mouth, the line from start to finish. I said this is where your mouth will be. It lands here. And I told you this one, you put a circle here. Or like I told you, some persons use this shape. And this is where your eye. Okay, what else did I say? I told you the neck falls under your chin. Okay, that's the neck. What else? You form your eyes. You form your eyes. And then your eyebrow line, your eyebrow, and then your eyebrow. So that's the recap. So we are going to go into a profile view. So I don't know if there's any question concerning this.